Good morning, mathematicians. Today we'll be doing lesson 11.5, a formula for the volume of rectangular prisms. The objective for today is to guide the development and use of a formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism. Let's get started with our warm-up. Today you're going to see if you can do these addition problems in your head and write down the answer on your whiteboard. You don't need to write the problem, just write the answer. Now let's say the answer together. 16 plus 4 equals 25 plus 5 equals 37 plus 3 equals. Go ahead and erase your boards and we'll get started on the next set. Again, let's say the answers together. 18 plus 19 equals 49 plus 17 equals 48 plus 16 equals. Go ahead and erase and we'll get started on the last set. Now let's say the last set of answers together. 253 plus 29 equals 76 plus 149 equals 126 plus 259 equals. Now you can go ahead and erase your board and set it off to the side. For the next couple of minutes, I would like you and your partner to turn to page 298 in your math journal, and you're going to work on doing the area of a rectangle, which should be a review for you. And if you get finished with the first four, go ahead and do the try this as well. For the first one, it says write a formula for the area of a rectangle. In your formula, use A for area, use L and W for length and width, or B and H for base and height. Who can tell me the two formulas that could have been written down? Yes, you could have had, area equals length times width, or area equals base times height. For the next one, you should have used your shape template or ruler to draw a rectangle with sides measuring 3 centimeters and 9 centimeters. Your rectangle should look something like this, with sides of 3 centimeters and 9 centimeters, but obviously a little more straight since you used your straight edge. Now the number model should have been area equals length, which was 9, times width is 3, and you should have gotten 27 centimeters squared. Now go ahead and check your answers for the last ones to see if you got them correct. Notice for numbers 3 and 4, our units are only meters and inches because that was only one side. That wasn't for the area of the whole rectangle, which would have been meters squared or inches squared. Does anyone have any questions about how we got these answers? So today we reviewed area because that will help us as we learn and use the formula for volume today. Let's take a look now at what volume is. Now we're going to learn more about volume by reading a page in our student reference book. Who can help me out by starting to read this page? Let's take a look now at page 300 in our math journal. It says each picture at the bottom of this page and on the next page shows a box that is partially filled with cubes. The cubes in each box are the same size. Each box has at least one stack of cubes that goes to the top. Your task is to find the total number of cubes needed to completely fill each box. Record your answers in the table below. So in the first column, or in the first row, you're going to fill in number of cubes needed to cover the bottom. Then in the next one, number of cubes in the tallest stack, and it says be sure to count the bottom cube. And then finally, you're going to figure out the total number of cubes needed to fill the box. Let's take a look at number 1 together. We can figure out the number of cubes needed to cover up the bottom by looking at the area. So first, let's look at this side here. How many cubes are needed to go across the entire length of the bottom? Yes, it should be 8. We can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if this one was here, 6, 7, and 8 that go all the way across the length. Now what about the width? How many would we need to go across there? Yes, that should be 4. We can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 that would fit across the bottom. So to figure out how to fill our bottom, we would have to do length times width. So 8 times 4 is 32. Now for our tallest stack, we can just count from the bottom up to the top. How many are in our tallest stack? You should have gotten 5 cubes. And then the total number of cubes needed to fill the box. How would we be able to figure out that total number of cubes? Yes, we could multiply the number of cubes to cover the bottom times the number of cubes in the tallest stack. So we could do 32 times 5 equals, and you should have gotten an answer of 160. For today's work, you will be looking at the rest of the boxes and filling out the remainder of this table. Now let's take a look quick at the bottom of page 301. It's very important that everybody writes down this formula because it's one we'll need to know. So it says the formula for volume of a rectangular prism, and we have here this base is shaded in, and it shows us the height, which are the two things we're going to use. So volume would be our first one, V equals a capital B, which this is a little bit different. It doesn't just stand for one side, it stands for the whole area of the base, just like we did in problem 1 where we multiplied the length times the width. So the B is the whole base, and then we multiply that by its height. So volume equals the area of the base times the height, and volume is in cubic units because each unit looks like a cube. So on your learning journey, make sure you fill out the date for today. We already did mental math, so you can check that off. We also already did page 298. You'll need to work on pages 300, 301, 302, and if you haven't finished math boxes already, make sure that gets finished. Then you'll move on to Activity B, Blend Space Activity E. Make it a great day.